Hey, this is another great video by Ricky Kennerly Cichlids. This video we're looking at fish poop management. Hopefully this won't be a crappy video. I want you to get some good ideas. If you don't like how I do things here, that sometimes gives you ideas. I love YouTube videos that give me ideas. I've looked at several recently over the past several weeks. I've changed things on how I do with all the things I do with all my aquariums. I have 22 aquariums I take care of, and I've changed the way I do things tremendously in the last several months, especially in the last few days. Now you can hear some gurgling going on in this aquarium. This is my Frontosa colony aquarium, and all my aquariums except for 3 I use sponge filtration. This 125 gallon, I only have 2 sponge filters plus a fluidized bed filter. How I've decided to change things was because of a question that I got repeatedly. Hey, when you use your sponge filters, which I have to recommend completely, if you use sponge filters, what do you do with the fish poop? You know, what do you do with the poop? Does it just stay on the bottom? Does it swirl around? You know, what do you do with it? So I've been doing my water changes differently. You can check out those videos. They're pretty good videos. You know, a lot of water change videos are boring, goes up and down, but I do things differently. You might want to check those out. That is important in dealing with fish poop management. But when you do your water changes, this is the thing I want you to do if you have it available to you. I've been in the hobby for a long time. Not saying I know more than anybody else, but I have, what I say, a supply of fish equipment that I haven't used for years, and I got an idea that, hey, it'd be good to use that equipment. In the past, in the 80s and 90s, there used to be fish stores where they'd use like corner filters and sponge filters, and they'd have them packed full of fish, and what they did, they took a polishing filter to each aquarium and got it looking good. So I decided, hey, I have a Magnum 350 available to me. That's my dad's. I have 2 hot Magnum filtration systems that's hang on the tank filters, and they would be great at polishing. Now, when will I use those? Well, when you do your water change, you're stirring up the debris in the substrate. You're taking out quite a bit of water. There's a lot of debris still in there when you fill it back up. It's all still circulating. It's on top of the substrate. That's the perfect time to use your polishing filter. Now, for Frontosas, what I have here is I got on this 125, I'm using a Magnum 350. It's 350 gallons per hour, and you know, some may think that's not anywhere compared to my canister filter, but your canister filter is packed full of media, where in this case I'm just using like floss, and it doesn't put a lot of back pressure on it, so you're getting a lot of gallons per hour, and you clean up pretty quick. So do your polishing filter right after you do the water change, and it'll keep it in shape for a very long time. Now, another way you can deal with your poop is if you have bright lights, you can see the poop floating around. You see a little bit stirred up with the filtration here, which is getting in shape. It will look better right after, if I do this right after a water change, but you'll see it more in your aquarium. So your guest, or if you're making videos or whatever, sometimes a bright light is not something that's ideal for your aquarium because it shows the poop more. And that's poop management. So you're dealing with the poop, you're managing how it's presented to you, your family, you know, your friends, guests, or if you make YouTube videos, your YouTube viewers. Now, something I've changed recently is feeding. How often you feed affects your poop management. Now, some of the feeding you do is going to be excess food, or if you feed like pellet food, there's going to be, or other food, a lot of the food is going to go out the gills, and it's not necessarily poop, but it's waste. So This is, poop management. It's also waste management as well. So what I've done in feeding is I only feed once every other day to all my fish, not just Frontosas. It's really good for Frontosas especially, but for all my cichlids. And they're doing great. They're actually growing faster. They're looking more vibrant. It's just, and they're breeding better. So that is something I always suggest you do, is look at your feeding when you're dealing with fish poop management. So as far as the food that I've been feeding my Frontosas, my peacocks, my Mabuna, I've been feeding artificial crappie. Now it has really good products in it. It's got mostly pollock, which is a fish around the Alaskan coast. It's got lobster, it's got crab, it's got anchovies. It's really good food, and it's inexpensive. Some of you viewers are around the world, so the price could vary a little bit. But I just recently found out the new price, because I didn't see it, I didn't shop good enough at Walmart. I was looking at an inexpensive package. You can actually get 2 pounds for a little over $5. Now, if you want to open up a package that's that big, you might want to have a Tupperware container or some type of container to store it in, so that when you have it in your refrigerator, it stays fresh if you're going to feed it long term. Some of you won't even need that package, that big a package, but I have a lot of aquariums that last me a long time. It's pretty inexpensive when you think about how expensive a bag of food would cost. So you can get an 8 ounce to a pound to 2 pounds at your Walmart Supercenter. They offer at most grocery stores and around the world. I found that most places around the world have it, and it's pretty inexpensive. So your feeding can affect how much waste, how much fish poops in here, the water quality. So check that out. Now, for the rest of this video, I'm going to tell you about, it's going to have to do with fish poop management in this aquarium, this particular aquarium, my Frontosa cichlid colony. What I'm going to be doing, it's exciting. I'm excited. I've been wanting to do this a long time. I saw a video by Rachel O'Leary, and she had a video, and I thought, wow, it's got a lot of views. Something's up with that. And it was talking about a matin filter. Now, other people have videos on matin filters, but I liked her charisma. She has a great channel, so check it out. So I'm going to be putting a matin filter over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to be taking out my 2 sponge filters and just have a matin filter. Behind the matin filter, it's over here, I'll have my fluidized bed and my heater. And I'm going to actually have 2 air outlets that's going to be pushing some flow through there. It'll still be low flow for my Frontosas, because that's very important for your Frontosas. But I think it'll be a lot more surface area than my sponge filters. And it'll be great for my aquarium. I've been excited about it. I actually only spent about a little less than $12 for the foam. Now I'm replacing 2 sponge filters. So the parts I'm getting from 2 of my sponge filters allowed me to make everything I need for this matin filter. So stay tuned for that, because that has to do with poop management. And poop management may be a series, or at least I'll be mentioning poop management in my future videos. It's very important. You gotta stay up on this type of business. You've heard what kind of business it is. You know what poop is. It's that type of business. So stay up on top of your poop management, because it's important. Your fish need to be healthy. The way I'm doing things here is I'm getting the poop out. When you have a canister filter, your poop's staying in the canister filter. If you stay there for a long time, if you're like me, you don't want to lift those big things, especially if you have multiple aquariums, and especially in the winter time, you can't go outside and clean it outside. You don't want all that poop in your sink or your bathtub. So think about that. You want to do things differently, especially in the winter time. So if it's winter time when you watch this video, you may want to think about doing things differently. Now, the Magnum 350 is a canister, but it's not as big as some of the big, Aqua Tops or the Fluval FX6 or whatever type. Those things can weigh a ton. They can give you a hernia if you're not careful. This one doesn't weigh as much. So when you're using your polisher filter, you don't have to necessarily use the Magnums or the Magnum 350 or the hot Magnums. What you're doing, you're only using it temporarily, and then you're taking it. You can use it around other aquariums. Be careful if you don't quarantine your fish. New fish can anything that's infecting them that they carry can spread through different aquariums if you don't quarantine your fish. Now in my case, I've had all my fish here for a year and a half. So when I'm saying that is that I've only purchased some a year and a half ago. I don't purchase a lot of fish. There's other fish I'd like to purchase, don't have a lot of room. I got so much breeding experiments, I'm not really wanting too many fish. There is some on my list I like to have, not all that rare, but monetary aspects and plus the room aspects plays in that. So when you're taking your polisher filter, once you quit using that, no more poop is circulating in your aquarium. No longer circulating in your aquarium. When I'm saying like your water is not going into your filter being exposed to that fish poop. So that's a good thing. So you're taking the poop out. Your water changes is taking the poop out, and your polisher's taking the poop out, actually gone. Now when you use your canister filtrations, the poop is in your system still. And I'm not saying that the canister filters are bad, but I just got to where I could not clean that many of them. It was too much work. I hated it. I didn't want to get my, it was a little bit more disgusting because I waited so long to clean them. So this way I'm doing a quicker cleaning of the polisher. Hitting all my tanks right after a water change, and things are looking up for me in this hobby. I hope this video gave you some ideas. Hopefully they were not crappy ideas or the other type of ideas, but basically I hope you got some ideas from this, and I hope you learned some things about fish management. If you didn't, fish poop management. So if you take something away from this, hopefully it's not a smelly idea or a bad idea. It's a great idea. So I'm glad you watched this great video on fish poop management. Thank you for watching. Ricky Cichlids.